So it's like, it kind of takes an impact, and you know, like, okay, they swear, so it's like, you know, they lie, some other stuff. So. Oh, yeah, wherever you want to do it. Oh, yes, go ahead. Feel free to go ahead. Yeah. No time limit, nothing, just go ahead. Yeah. Okay.
All rise. Good morning. The Honorable Daniel Ferris, Attorney at Law, will be presiding today. Please silence your cell phones. Thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning. Good morning. I just wanted to introduce myself before we get started. As Ron has stated, my name is Daniel Ferris. I'm one of the hearing officers here at court. I've been appointed by the City Council and the Mayor, so that's where my authority comes from. I'm here because I love the city of Shreveport. Now, a lesson that my grandmother taught me, who raised me, my nanny, and she was married to my grandfather for almost 40 years. She was the first lady of the church, and she taught me you can catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. As you come up here and talk, keep that in mind. I want to help you. I want to help you. How the process is, I'm going to call your case up. The inspector, they're going to tell me exactly what's going on, and then I want to hear what you have to say, and then we're going to go from there. Sounds good? All right, so let's get started, guys. Yeah, could we do this? Let's do 24 and 25. This is Inspector Blunt, 24 240 9451 PSD, 1123 Andrew Street, and number 25 240 91076 PSG, the same address, 1123 Andrew Street.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Inspector Hayes, are you handling this case today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Inspector Blunt is out, so I am handling this case.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're talking about 1123 Andrew.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. I'm Inspector Lisa Hayes, handling case number 2400 24091076 PSG and 240951 PSD, 1123 Andrew.
Thank you, Inspector Hayes. What's going on here?
I went out to the house the other day to check it for the care premise and the demolition. The care premise seemed somewhat to be taken care of. The things that were in the original pictures that the inspector had been removed. There may be some things maybe out there, maybe a chair and a tire that needs to be removed. The house is still in the same state of repair that it was when the inspector took our first pictures. And I'm just going by what I saw in the history and what I saw yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
And the house still needs to have some rehabilitation done to it or either demolished. I'm not sure what the owner wants to do. This is my first time meeting him because I wasn't the inspector. So I'm not sure exactly what he has planned for the structure.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Inspector Hayes. Sir, first thing, please state your name for the record.
Yes, my name is Larry Diggs. I'm representing my daughter. I'm hearing my daughter's case.
Okay, so the daughter, she's the owner of the property?
My daughter mother owned the property. They live in California.
Yes, sir.
They could not come, so they asked me to come down and ask for more time to demolish the property.
Yes, sir. Wait, you're saying that so they want to demolish the property themselves?
Yes, we're gonna do it ourselves.
Okay. Inspector Hayes, what do you think about that?
I don't have a problem with them demolishing it themselves, but what I would like for the court to do is go ahead and order a demolition.
Yep.
So in the process of them trying to demolish, if they demolish it before it comes to fruition for us to demolish it, that's fine. But if not, I'd like to be on record for us to have a demolition order on it. And that way, if they have any problems, we can go ahead and have it demolished and don't have to come back to you.
Right. I think sir, does that sound fair to you?
Yes, but we need to know what kind of time we have to do it.
How much time would you need?
About 90 days.
90 days? Inspector Hayes, what do you think about that?
I could have some help from Ms. Rhonda there on the court order and how you do that.
Inspector Hayes, how about this as a possible resolution? I can order a judgment to have the property demolished, but we hold off on doing it, within 90 days. That's going to give him time to see if they can get it done within 90 days. If not, then we have a judgment to go forward.
That's fine, Your Honor. Thank
good?
you. Is that okay? It's fine.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Let's let the record reflect that. That's what we're going to do. And just so the record is clear, Inspector Hayes, is it of your opinion that the property as is it a hazard at this time?
It's not so much as a hazard, sir. It seemed to be kind of secured there,
Yes, ma'am.
but it just needs to come down. But it's not a hazard at this point.
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
see a hazard to it.
Yes, ma'am. Let's offer, file, and introduce all the photos into the record as exhibits. Let's note that a family member for the owner of the property was here today. I think we're all on the same page. He stated that they intend to move forward with demolition, but they're asking for 90 days. I'm going to order the property to be demolished. We're going to have a judgment for that, but we're going to hold off before we proceed with that. It's going to give you 90 days to get it done. If not, then we're going to take care of that. So let the record reflect that. Sounds good?
Good.
Thank you so much, sir. Inspector Hayes, as always, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor, and I did not take about the care premise.
And that one is abated?
Yes, sir. It is.
Yes, ma'am.
It's abated.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Ronnie. And let's show that docket number abated, the care premises. All right, now we can go back to the. Thank you, sir. All right, let's go to number one on the docket, 240-910-21 PSG, 2519 Regent Street. This is with Inspector Graham. Good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Very good.
Good.
Will you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
What's going on here, Inspector Graham?
Good morning, Your Honor. This is 2519 Regent Street, violation number 240911111. I can read the wrong one. 240911021 PSG, 2519 Regent Street. This was originally written up by Mr. Billy Davis, who's no longer with us. This is a continuation from last court date. The property as of yesterday stands as it looks in the photos. Some work was completed. It was supposed to be completed. I am not going to call it completed. I need for the overgrowth and the debris in the rear of the yard to be cleaned and removed.
Yes, sir.
And he also had an order to remove that vehicle, which he said it rained, so I understand that.
Yes, sir.
It would be difficult to get it out of that rear yard with the condition of the ground at this time.
Yes, sir.
But all that overgrowth, paper, trash, debris that's strewn all over their property. I need that removed and cleaned to that point.
Yes, sir. And it sounds like you've had contact with him outside of court.
Yes, sir.
And does it seem like he's trying? He's just not going as quick as you would like?
It could move along a little faster, sir.
Yes, sir.
There could be a little bit more effort put forth to just go ahead and complete this particular part of it, and we could be done with it.
Yes, sir.
So,
Let's see what he has to say. See how much. Sir, first thing, please state your name for the record.
Albert Bryant.
Good morning, Mr. Brown.
Good morning.
How much more time would you need?
Another 30 days to the most. That's all. That big tree in there, I had a agreement with the tree service. My neighbor tree fell over in the yard,
Yes, sir.
and I just had an agreement with them. They was gonna go and cut the rest of the trees and stuff that's all down in there. That tree that's laying there, and they was gonna replace my fence.
Yes, sir.
But they had me set for the Wednesday of this week, but they didn't get around because of the rain. But it would have been cleared out. But other than that, I was gonna get the rest of it once they came in, cut that tree on down and replace my fence.
Yes, sir.
But other than that, the truck, like I said, told him I was gonna get it out as soon as I'm able, because I got to pull it way out the back of that yard to the next street over there.
So you're saying 30 days is going to be enough time for you?
Yeah, it'd probably be enough.
Inspector Graham, what do you think about that? 30 days? That's a pretty quick turnaround.
yes, sir, we'll work with that.
Yes, sir. Want to bring it back? What's the next?
He does have a returning case for the March 13th docket, I think. It's
He does,
demolition.
Inspector? Okay.
Yes.
If that's the case, then I guess we can just maintain that date then. Trying to make sure we got the right date.
March 13th.
March 13th? Yes, sir. So let's bring you back March 13th, and hopefully it'll be done by then. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's move to number 3 on the docket. This is with Inspector DeBro. This is 2410495 PSD, 9835 Harris Street. Inspector DeBro, good morning.
Good morning.
Raise your hand. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
What's going on here, Inspector DeBro?
7835 Harris Street. The violation of is 2410495 PSD. I put in for a demolition. And, I talked to the owner, but she ain't the owner yet.
Yes,
She
sir.
say she waited 3 years to be the original owner. But I'm gonna let her explain to you what's going on with the house and her.
Okay, sir.
How you doing?
Good morning, ma'am. First thing, please state your name for the record.
Miranda Evans.
Okay, Miss Evans, go ahead.
I purchased this house from the Civic Source in June. I got
Yeah.
the certificate on it in July.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I got a notice in the mail in October.
I got you.
So this is what the problem
Yes, ma'am. I understand, Miss Evans. How much time do you think you need to?
is. Is it mine?
That's a good point. Yeah. So technically, you do have. So I guess you started the process to become the owner.
yes, yes.
Do, yeah, she does. So who's the? They've not been. Is this the first time we have them in court? Yes. Okay. I think what we're checking right now, Inspector DeBro, is we're seeing whether or not notice was sent to the actual owners, to the current owners, before Ms. Evans step in. So that's what we're checking on right now. But Ms. Evans, if you want to go ahead and take care of this, I mean, nobody's going to stop you.
I am. That's my goal. That's my goal.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yeah. Is this the first court setting? Okay. 3 years, yeah. So we need to get the actual, we need to make sure notice is sent to the actual owners before we proceed. For this one, morning. Looks like on 2 of the owners is where the issue, this one and this one. Yeah. Let's do that, because Let's give him, because this is the first, is this the first court setting? Yeah. Inspector DeBro, I think for this one, to err on the side of caution, since this is a first court setting, look like we do have notice for one of the owners, but for a couple of the other owners, we've not been able to confirm actual notice. So let's bring this back. March 13th, yeah. Is that Sarah's day or is that mine? Oh, yeah, she's doing that before. Hold on. I think I got work. Yeah, I hate to overload her, but yeah. Trying to see if I can bring you back on one of my dates, Miss Evans and Inspector DeBro. I don't want to overwhelm hearing officer Giglio. I don't want to have her upset with me. So that's what I'm trying to see if I can get ahead of that. But then what we have to do here, let's see here. Yeah, I should be good on that date. So we could do that date. We could do that, yeah. Let's bring it back April 15th, and we're going to see if we can get notice out. And I guess Ms. Evans just, obviously you didn't know the property was going to have to be taken care of when you purchased the property. But anyway, I guess we'll provide notice to you as well. But we're going to try to get notice to the actual owners of the property. Thank you for being here, though, Ms. Evans.
Thank you.
Thank you, Inspector DeBro. Yep. All right, let's go to number 6 on the docket. This is with Inspector Ray. This is 2410497 PSD. This is 2816 Anna Street.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Good morning, Inspector Ray.
Good morning, Inspector Ray for case number 2410497 PSD. Okay, repairs have started on the structure to clear the violation. Storage shed has been demolished, but the debris still remains that needs to be removed. Exterior walls still have holes and breaks that need to be repaired. So at this time, I'm get a property owner to explain to the court that the time frame needed to clear the violation.
Thank you, Inspector Ray. Sir, please state your name for the record.
Tristan Sparks.
Okay, yes, sir. And how much more time would you need?
At least like 30 days.
30 days?
Yeah, just quick.
Quick turnaround. Inspector Ray, 30 days?
Yes, sir, I agree with that.
Yes, sir. All right, let's bring it back 30 days. Let's bring you back on the March 13th date. Thank you. All right, let's move to number 7 on the docket. This is with Inspector Hayes, 240-2166 PSD, 259 Wilkinson Street. I think I said that correctly. Oh, is this the one where the owner isn't here yet?
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Lisa Hayes for case number 2402166 PSD 259 Wilkinson. I wrote this case up back in, in February of last year, and it remains the same. I'm getting constant complaints from property owners in the area, and it seems to be a problem. It was burned. Someone bought it at tax sale, and the thing about tax sale buyers, you're buying it and you know what it looks like when you buy it.
Yeah.
But you're not doing anything to it because you want to wait that time.
Yeah.
It's open, it's a danger, and I need an order for it to be demolished.
Yeah. Have you had any contact with the owners?
I have not had any contact with the owner, but I do have my witness here who's one of the homeowners in the area who actually lives across the street from the property, and she can let you know how she feels about it.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, please state your name for the record.
Hey everyone, I'm Madison Poche.
Okay, Ms. Poche,
Yes.
thank you so much for being here, Ms. Poche. So you are a interested party in this case.
Yeah, so I moved in across the street 8 years ago, and it had already had that fire. It's in the right top corner. 8 years ago, so means water was getting in when I moved in 8 years ago. And so, I went down and tried to find the owner who seemed like they had disappeared. A bank got the tax sale, which was 3 years. And so I tried to find the bank in Michigan or wherever they were. Squatters started living in the house, even with that roof there. And I mean, they were stealing power, they were stealing water. They broke into the house behind them, or someone broke into the house behind them. There was junk and mattresses and furniture on the front lawn. Probably there was drugs being used. I mean, and this is an active neighborhood. Kids are walking to school down the street. I would mow the lawn when I could. I know I think April 2023, so about 2 years ago, a new owner bought it in the tax sale, and they did come in and got out some of the junk and cut out some of the brush, but it's still been 2 years. All the windows and doors are out. They just put the plywood back on the doors. So, I mean, I would welcome someone to renovate it and fix it up. I would love to see a renovated house instead of, an empty lot there. But, I mean, that's 8 years of it being in bad shape. I mean, I'm sure there's no plumbing, there's no electrical, there's no floors in some places here. So, I mean, if there's an owner that has a timeline and a plan and money and a deadline, I would certainly love to have that be possible. But right now, it's certainly, I think, just a hazard for everyone who's living around it. And I also just have some email statements. There's a property owner next to it who just fixed up that yellow house that has it for sale. And he renovates a lot of houses, and he just says, I think it's too far gone to be brought back to a good standard. I know they've been having trouble selling it, and I've talked to people who are interested in it, and they're like, what's going on with the scary house next to it? And then I also have an email from the house that's behind it that also says, they've seen a lot of squatters, has a lot of junk, the damage from the fire is extensive. It seems like the current owners are unwilling or unable to complete the repairs, and they would certainly be grateful to see it demolished. So that's my comment.
Thank you, Ms. Poche. Those emails, can we have a copy of the emails so we can file that into the record? Inspector Hayes, do you agree that the property is a hazard as is?
I do, Your Honor, and it's open. It's been burned inside, and I understand they want to renovate certain things around that area, but the problem is everything just can't be saved. But my fear is that now it's been burned two times, I believe, and it's going to get cold again, and we're not through with the cold weather. So is somebody going to go back in there and burn it over again? And if they bought it at tax sale, if they don't want to put any money in it, they're going to wait those 3 years to get their certificate, and it's going to sit. And they have no motivation to move forward. And I need a court order to say, let's demolish it and send them that information. So if they're going to do something, they can go ahead and do it. If not, it needs to come down.
To light some fire under them.
Yes,
No
sir.
pun intended. Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm just making sure notice was properly provided to the owner, Inspector Hayes. That way, if we do proceed with the judgment and the order, it's not going to be any issues on the back end if they wanted to appeal it with the district court. So, okay, we got that. That's good. Okay, good. Shannon, approved. It looked like we do have an appeal form dated for November 19th, 2024, by the owner of the property. We sent notice to that address. We have the signed green card. We show that it was delivered on December 13th of 2024. What's it? But this is the one that, okay. And we have the signed green card from the address that the owner actually put on the appeal form. Based on the testimony and opinion of Inspector Hayes and of Ms. Poche, who is an interested party. Also, I think we have emails from other owners in the area noting that the property is a hazard. There are children that could be exposed to this. And it seems that notice was properly provided to the owner. So let's offer, file, and introduce that all into the evidence. Let's make sure you have the green card provided into the evidence as well. I'm going to agree with Inspector Hayes, and we're going to order the property to be demolished. Thank you, Inspector Hayes. Ms. Poche, thank you so much. The fact that when we have interested parties show up, it really helps us do our jobs. So thank you for this, and we're going to take care of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, let's move to number 11 on the docket. This is 240142 PSD 3335 Wheeler Street. This is with Inspector Williams.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Lord.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
What's going on with this property?
Okay, LaWanda Williams for 240142 PSD 3335 Wheeler. Miss Cody wants to demolish the house herself. Now, they have removed the porch and the little wheelchair ramp. So I'm asking that we're gonna do 60 days and then we just give a demo order.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Good. So let's give her 60 days. Ma'am, we'll give you 60 days, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. And hold off on it. No, I got it. Yeah, so let's order, so I'm going to order the property to be demolished. We're going to get a judgment. We're going to hold off for 60 days before we proceed with it. I got you, Inspector Williams. See, this is why I run here. She here to help me out. We're on the same page. I got you. Yes, ma'am. Very good.
Perfect.
All right. Let's move to number 18 on the docket. This is with Inspector Davis. This is 2403341 PSG 3504 Claiborne Avenue.
Yes.
Morning, Inspector Davis.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. Thank you.
I do. What's going on with this property, Inspector Davis?
I'm Inspector Davis over to 403341 PSG 3504 Claiborne Avenue. I recommend that the property be abated. The only thing that I do ask is that the scattered trash just be maintained, picked up, and cleaned up. That's it.
Okay.
Other than that, everything's good. Overgrowth removed on the backside, debris removed, everything looks in order.
Perfect. So let's show this property abated. Ma'am, thank you so much. It was an easy one. Thank you. Thank you. Don't go anywhere, Inspector Davis. I think these several next cases are with you. Let's do number 19 and 20 on the docket, Inspector Davis. It's going to be 19-2410538 PSD 3612 Darien Street. And number 20 on the docket, 2410123 PSG, the same address, 3612 Darien Street. 1920. Yes.
Okay. Good morning, sir. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
What's going on with this property, Inspector Davis?
I'm Inspector Davis over 2410538 Darien and 2410123 PSG Darien and PSD. With this structure here, it does show deterioration around the roof, the siding, and the
It's a picture where you can see a crack in the brick and it's kind of shifted right here. That's a concern for me as well. But there have been concerns for infestation. I think that would be considered a hazardous situation for the people that are living there. They told me that they've had a raccoon this big removed from the property.
That's a mutant
And-
raccoon, Inspector Davis.
And as far as the PSG, we do need the branches, the limbs, the scrap metal, the overgrowth around the structure, the door frames, garden equipment. All of that needs to be removed, properly stored within a four-wall unit, out of sight, out of mind. And the tires also need to be removed from the property as well. As far as giving him time, I would believe that 30 days would be recommended for something of this magnitude.
Okay. Sir, please state your name for the record.
Kevin Belcher.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Doing good. How much time would you need?
About 90 days,
90 days?
maybe 90 days.
That's a bit more than what Inspector Davis is.
Well, he's not depending on the weather and, everything like that. Rain, hard to walk in the yard, stuff like that.
Have you had any contact with him, Inspector Davis, outside of court?
No, sir.
No contact? How about we split the baby, and instead of 30 days, instead of 90 days, how about we bring it back in 60 days? How about we do that? Inspector Davis, how'd that sound?
That work, give him time and need. 'Cause I know
Let's
we
do
in,
that, sir.
We in that weather.
60 days. I got a feeling you're going to get this right. 60 days.
60 days.
Yes, sir. Good deal. Okay. Let's bring it back in April. April 15th, which is tax day. So don't come back mad, all right? April 15th.
I'm gonna be mad all day.
Yes, sir. Me too. All right. Very good. So we're going to bring it back April 15th. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's move to number 21 and 22 on the docket, Inspector Davis. 21 on the docket is 2410112 PSS 3627 Darien Street. And number 22 on the docket, 2410123 7 PSG, the same address, 3627 Darien Street.
I am Inspector Davis over 2410112 PSS and 2410123 PSG, 3627 Darien Street. I do recommend that this property be secured, given the broken windows and the possibility of having squatters infiltrate the structure, which we want to try to limit house fires, infestation, and hazardous situation as well. It's a good looking structure. Do want to try to keep it maintained and everything like that. As far as the care premise, I do recommend that we get all of those bush. Now during the spring and during the summer, they will severely grow high and thick around the front part of the structure. There's no entryway or access way to the front, and right here, it will grow very high, very thick. So I would like to get that removed, as well as the other bush right there by the side door as well. I wanted to try to get all of that removed, not minimized, but removed. And I do believe that they have some down branches or stump over there to the left side of the screen where that needs to be removed as well. As far as everything else, just secure and minor care premise, and we should be able to.
Okay, very good. Sir, since this is a different case, please state your name for the record again.
Kevin Belcher.
Yes, sir. Is somebody currently living there?
No, sir.
No, nobody? Okay. How about 60 days? How does that sound? We'll bring this back.
Can I get 120? Because I'm gonna get a track hoe in and dig that stuff up and gotta let the ground.
I don't
dry
think
pretty
Inspector
good.
Davis is going to agree to 120 days.
Well,
Inspector
the
Davis,
ground gonna be dry because with the equipment,
Now,
let's in the mud.
since we're bringing the other case back within 60 days, let's bring this case back within 60 days. And hopefully it'll be done. If it's not done entirely, hopefully we're going to see some big progress. Yes, sir. So we're going to keep tracking it. How does that sound, Inspector Davis?
Yeah, we just want to be able to have some progress shown. I would say this right here will be more of a minor situation.
Yeah,
So
I get that.
he can hit this first, and then he can hit the 3612. With more focus with that later.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir. Understand that. So let's bring it back 60 days. Let's bring it back April 15th. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
That's 21, 22. Okay, we did 24, 25, 28. Okay, let's move to number 28 on the docket. This is with Inspector Blunt. 2410557 PSD, 2526 Laurel Street. Inspector Hayes is standing in for Inspector Blunt. Good morning, sir.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth so help you God? Yes. Thank you.
Okay, Your Honor. I'm Inspector Lisa Hayes, speaking today for case number 2410557 PSD, 2526 Laurel through 2522 Laurel. There's actually 4 structures located through this property that Inspector Blunt wrote up, and all of them are like shotgun-style houses that are falling and totally needs to be demolished. I don't know what else needs to be done, but there's holes in the roof. The foundation is falling in at the bottom. The floors are falling in. And of course, I have not spoken to the owner because I'm not the original inspector on case, so I'm not exactly sure what he plans to do with them. But my recommendation after looking at them yesterday would be to demolish them.
Sir, please state your name for the record.
Hakeem Gray.
Mr. Gray? Yeah. What's going on, Mr. Gray?
Actually, to be honest, I didn't know that I owned all that property at one time. I just found that out about 6 months ago. I thought I owned the lot on the corner, and that was in the one behind it. But I went down to property standards. After I got the letter in the mail saying they were going to, demolish the property, I'm like, okay. I went down to property standards. They told me that I owned all that. I didn't know that. But
yes, sir.
I've been making progress. I got a contract that's going to come out. I think he said it's just somebody that was this morning said he's going to start on the 19th and start knocking them down.
I got 2 questions, Mr. Gray. Number one, is anybody living?
No.
These properties? Number 2, how much time would you need?
Man, give me about 90 days. Can I get 90 days?
Have you, when did you realize that you were the owner of the property, Mr. Gray?
Probably back in November, December, something like that, 24. I received a letter in the mail saying that they were going to tear down the property. I'm like, I don't own any structures on, property structures on it. Mm-hmm. And then I had to come to Shreveport and talk to the lady at property standards. She told me that I own all that. Mm-hmm. So then I started making progress. I ended up getting with a contractor that I know, a friend of mine, and he's a busy guy, but he said he was going to knock them down for me. He just sent me the invoice this morning. So,
do you have the invoice on you right now?
I haven't. He just emailed it to him. I have it in email. I mean, I didn't get a chance to print it out. I don't want to be late here. So,
how much was the quote?
He's a friend of mine. He didn't put a price on it. So
he didn't put a price on it.
Nope. So it might be a blessing to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got blessed with the land, so hey, I'm thinking God just doing some things for me.
Inspector Hayes, are you of the opinion that these properties are a hazard at this time?
They are a hazard, Your Honor, and just like another case, what I'd prefer for the court to do is to go ahead and give us the order to demolish them. Yeah. And if he have them demolished by the time we get ready to, then hey, it's okay. But just as long as we have the demolition order on file would be wonderful.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm inclined to do. But I'm going to help you out, sir. Let's offer, file, and introduce the photos into the record. Let's note the testimony of Inspector Hayes. She's of the opinion, I agree with her, that the property as is a hazard. I'm not really seeing any progress on the property. Note the testimony of Mr. Gray, the owner, who said that he has contacted a contractor to proceed with the demolition, but he does not have an actual quote at this time. I'm going to order the property to be demolished. We're going to get a judgment for that, but we're going to hold off on proceeding with the judgment for 60 days. So, Mr. Gray, take care of this, for 60 days, then, it'd be cool. If not, then we'll take care of it. Sounds good? Thank you, Inspector Hayes. Thank you, Mr. Gray. All right, let's move to number 29 on the docket. This is with Inspector Jones. Number 29, 240-78889 PSG, 3824 Addison Avenue. Morning, Inspector Jones.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
What's going on here, Inspector Jones?
All right. Inspector Jones for case number 2407889 PSG, 3824 Addison Avenue. This property was initialized for a care premise, and as of yesterday, I want to call the violation and satisfaction as far as the overgrowth that he cut down as far as the last time he was here.
So Inspector Jones, you're saying we should order this property abated at this time?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Ma'am?
I really would appreciate Inspector R.T. Jones and your Honorable
Yes, sir.
giving us time working with us.
That's what I like to hear. Look at that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. God bless y'all. Thank y'all. All right. Inspector Jones, let's go to, these next, I think you got the next 20 cases. The next 4 at least. This is all on a single property? Is this right? I'm reading it. Okay, let's move to number 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 3240-91077 CAB 743 Booths Drive, 31-240-91078 CAB 743 Booth Drive, 32-240-91079 CAB 743 Booth Drive, 33-240-91080 CAB 743 Booth Drive, and finally, 240-91080 PSG 743 Booth Drive. That is a lot, Inspector Jones. Let's get y'all sworn in.
Good morning, ma'am. May I have you raise? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
What's going on with all this stuff, Inspector Jones?
All right, Inspector Jones for all the case numbers or just the location?
Yeah, well, just do them one by one to make sure we got the record clear.
All right, for case number 240-91077 CAB, 743 Booth Drive. The violation for this one is an inoperable vehicle, and that would be the gray Mercury in the picture.
Where is it, Inspector Jones?
That one.
Oh, that one. Okay, yes, sir, I got it. Okay, so let's just focus here, and then we'll go through them one by one to make sure everything is clear and smooth.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, please state your name for the record.
Alice Hobley.
Miss what? I'm sorry?
Hobley.
Miss Hobley? Okay, Miss Hobley. What's going on, Miss Hobley?
I moved in the house in 2022. It was, I got pictures of it. There was a huge shed I had removed, and it was a whole lot of dirt up under it and stuff. But we moved in, the cars were drivable. Those are my son's vehicles. I have 3 sons. This green one to the left, my motor went out of my truck in my Suburban, and he took the motor out of his car and put it in my truck. So that right there, that's under that tarp, he's working on another motor to put in it.
And that's the gray one, right?
No, that's this blue one on the side. Now the gray one, my son, he lives in Texas, and the transmission went out on it.
Yes, ma'am.
And I mean,
Is there any way we could get that one back up and running? If so, how much time would you need, or would you want to get rid of that one? Tell them to come
those
pick
are
his
their
car?
first cars. I bought them I bought those for them when they graduated high school.
Mhm.
And they
You know,
don't want to let them go because it's
yes, ma'am.
sentimental value to them.
You know, my first car was, I drove my granddaddy's Cadillac, was my first car. But at one point, it stopped working. I had to get rid of it. I love that car
I
too.
know.
It was a black,
And
smooth
they're
Cadillac
like
too.
old school cars, and hopefully, I mean, because motors and transmissions cost a lot.
It's just, we
But
can't have it out, we can't have it like that in the open.
It's
It doesn't
it's
operate.
in the backyard, not bothering anybody. I have a big backyard. It's not bothering anybody.
Mhm.
It's, you see the slab is cleaned up. I mean,
Inspector Jones, if I gave her some more time, I understand that it is a sentimental value, but we're here because we love the city of Shreveport, and the law is the law, so we have to. And my mother-in-law, she has some cars that we had to get rid of for her because she had in her yard, it wasn't operating. So we all got to follow the,
can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
So, because I drove around my neighborhood and I
Mhm.
saw a lot of cars covered up with car covers.
Yes, ma'am.
A lot of them. If I put car covers over them, would that be okay?
That's a good question. Inspector Jones, if she was unable to get this car back up and running, what are some other steps that she could take to, I guess, get her off our radar? If that makes sense.
The inoperable vehicle would have to be stored in a garage type structure or a carport.
So if I get something built over them, because I've already contacted a company that could come out and build a covering over them. So
With the covering, I guess we'd have to, because we have to look at it to see whether or not it would be sufficient enough to be considered an actual carport. Correct, Inspector Jones?
Right. It would have to probably go through zoning because it's a structured deal. So
Right, yeah. If I were going to give it some more time, Inspector Jones, how much time would you recommend?
I guess I'm okay with 60 days, I guess.
60 days?
Yes, sir.
The other CABs, Inspector Jones, are they all related to the cars not operating, or is this something else?
It's all in related to the pictures and as far as inoperable.
So just the cars not operating?
Well, we got a care premise at that same location, but we got
Oh, yeah, that one, okay.
We got 4 vehicles wrote up for that same location.
I got you, Inspector Jones. Okay, so the cars are not operating. Let's give her 60 days. And
how about 6 months?
no, ma'am, 6 months is too long. We gotta do something. So 60 days, and hopefully we're gonna either get it done completely or made significant progress such that Inspector Jones is gonna come back and tell me they're doing good. Let's give them some more time. They're making progress, as opposed to just 6 months, and we need to track it at
Just
least.
show some kind of progress if I can
Yes,
get
ma'am,
at
significant
least some
progress.
of them moved.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. That's what I'm talking about. Yes,
I
ma'am.
can get at least
So let's give 60 days
two
for,
of the four, because 2 of the 4, I'm sure I can do.
yes, ma'am.
2 of them.
So let's give 60 days for all of the CAVs. And I just want to state it just so the record is clear. So that's 240-91077 CAB, 240-91078 CAB, 240-91079 CAB, and 240-91080 CAB. And Inspector Jones has identified, and the owners here, that they're all related to cars not operating, being out in the open. Okay, so we got that taken care of. So let's bring it back 60 days. Now, as to the PSG, Inspector Jones, what is that in regards to?
In the pictures, you can see the backyard is needing some cleanup as far as the debris, but she has made progress because in that, go back to that picture right there, it was a lot of tree stumps and we'll say a cut up tree that was in blocks, and they had them removed. So they made some improvement with the backyard.
Well, good. I got a feeling she's going to take care of all this
A
stuff.
tree fell on my house.
Tree fell?
Yes.
Oh, bless your heart.
I had to get the roof repaired, and the wood, I kept it because I have a fireplace and a wood stove.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and the kindling we used that to start the fire, and then the wood chopped up and used it.
Yes, ma'am. So let's give her 60 days for that as well, Inspector Jones. Like you stated, she's already made significant progress.
But as far as the, what else?
The scattered debris that's laying in the yard and under the canopy area right there.
What's wrong with that? I mean, that's my back porch. Yeah, I have power tools. I
It's-
have a shelf and. I don't
Well, it's
understand.
just considered outside storage, and you have to take personality items and put them in a storage building.
And ma'am, it's been my experience that these inspectors are very reasonable. And you see, I'm pretty reasonable as well. You see that?
Yeah, I
So
see.
if you work with us, we're gonna work with you. We don't gotta get into it like, I don't wanna, we're all on the same page. All right? Thank you, ma'am. Inspector Jones, thank you. So let's bring it back 60 days as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we had some more people come in. Let's move to number 12 and 13 on the docket. Number 12 is 24-10540 PSD, 3220 Alabama Avenue, and 13 on the docket, 24101239 PSG, the same address, 3220 Alabama Avenue. This is with Inspector Williams. Hello again, Inspector Williams.
Good morning. Good morning.
Let's get y'all sworn in.
Yes. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
What's going on here, Inspector Williams?
Okay, LaWanda Williams for 2410-540 PSD and 2410-1239 PSG, 3220 Alabama. I wrote it up for a care premise and for the back house to be demolished. Now, I spoke with the owner, and she stated that they are repairing, but they starting on the front house first.
Yes, ma'am.
They have cleaned up significantly. I say about 90%. They still got some overgrowth in the back here, right there. But I'm cool with that. I can give them time for that.
Wonderful.
But I don't know. She said she had receipts to show that, you know, she's been purchasing stuff for the repairs.
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't know how much time she's going to need to repair.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll see.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. First thing, please state your name for the record.
My name is Amicia Brown.
Ms. Brown? Okay. Ms. Brown, Mr. Shepherd, who want to talk first?
This is my dad. This is his home.
Yes, ma'am.
And got me involved in it because I have my own remodeling company. So I would like to. I've started on remodeling the front house, and I really don't know how long it'll take me to finish the front house because, of course, the neighbor next door house burned up a couple of months ago, and it caused a lot of rafter damage, which I have gotten replaced, and I've gotten the roof replaced, and that's what you see there. What I guess Miss LaWanda took pictures of yesterday because of the weather. We were all out there Thursday, but we couldn't finish. He couldn't pick up his stuff from getting the roof replaced because it rained Friday. So all I can say is I'm working on it. I'm remodeling the inside, and then I don't know how long it'll take me to get to the back house, but I am going to get some guys out there to look and see what it would take to lift the house back up.
Yes, ma'am.
And yeah, I work, and then I do this all day, and then I go to work. So
Trying to help Dad
as
out.
much
Yes,
time
ma'am.
as I can get.
Yes, ma'am. Inspector Williams, based on what we heard and what we've seen, and I got a feeling she's gonna take care of all this. She just needs some time. She seems like she's a go-getter, and she's not messing around. How much time would you recommend, Inspector Williams?
What you think?
Actually, we're just looking at all the damage that we suffered on the inside. I know it'll take me 3 months to just get all my sheetrock back up through the whole house.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
once the weather get done and the guy finished with the roof, then I can get him, because he's going to look at the back house. So I know 3 months for the front house.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I don't know how much time you'll allow me before I can make it to the back house.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we suffered more damage than we thought we had. And like I said, that's where he left the stuff from the roof, where
Yes, ma'am.
we got the roof replaced. But I do have plenty of receipts here to show.
Yes, ma'am. Inspector Williams?
Okay,
you thinking?
so I guess we can go like, we check back in 90 days to
Yeah.
see where we are,
I think that's
and
good.
then we'll go from there.
Yes, ma'am, I think that's good. And I got a feeling it's gonna be significant based on this person, yeah.
Because I'm trying to leave the property to them, and these my kids, so I want
Yes, sir.
them to have something.
That's good, yes, sir.
If they go and do it, because I'm too old to do it now. I
Yes, sir.
used to do that type of work, but I'm too old.
Yes, sir. Very good. So let's do that. Let's bring it back 90 days. So that's going to be May 15th. Thank you, Inspector Williams. Ma'am, thank you for the work you've done thus far. We appreciate that as a city, and I know your father appreciates that, and we need more citizens like you. So
Thank you.
very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. 23 on the docket. All right, let's move to number 23 on the docket. 240-4226 PSD, 1125 Ziegler Street, 1121 Ziegler Street, and 1123 Ziegler Street. This is with Inspector Blunt, so I think Inspector Hayes is standing in for Inspector Blunt. I think somebody should be here for this address, I believe. Oh, there he is. Morning, sir.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. Thank you.
What's going on with this property, Inspector Hayes?
Your Honor, I'm speaking for Inspector Lisa Hayes for 240-4226 PSD 1125 Ziegler Street. I went out on yesterday to take pictures and observe the property. It appeared that, looking at the inspector's pictures from before, that the front porch was falling in and deteriorating. All I could see was new boards that had been placed on the front porch and redone over. The rest of the house still needs a lot of work to it. I'm not exactly sure, of course, with the owner plans. I haven't spoken to him, it's not really my case, but it's gonna need a lot more work. And I could see material out there that maybe he's doing the home with, but like I say, the front porch, it looked like it had all new 2x4s, or the front porch front had actually been done over. So it's gonna be up to him to see exactly what he's doing.
Good morning, sir. Please state your name for the record.
Roosevelt Hicks.
Mr. Hicks.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Mr. Hicks?
I'm working on it. And I purchased these properties knowing that they was under demo or whatever. I was sold to them under possession that they was all right. I got own and operate a home remodeling service. So all this wood you see on the side here is the new wood that I'm bringing over there to do different repairs.
Yes, sir.
Now, I just put the front porch back on there and I closed all that in. She told me to secure the home and stuff like that. I got that done. And the back area, let's see if the picture come up. Okay. Yeah, right there. Right. And that part right there, it was like a porch. So I'm doing away with that porch there. So I just got to move that off and just seal that there away.
Yes, sir.
That's the back door there. It's already torn down, so I just got to move that property there away. I'm not gonna put the back porch back on now.
Yes, sir. How much time would you need, Mr. Hicks?
I'm 60 now. If I can get to about when I'm about 70, that'd be cool. But
10 years.
But we'll see though. Like you said, it's a lot of work. But
I don't think Inspector Hayes is gonna agree to that.
Just kidding. But yeah, just give me some more time to work with it, and I appreciate it, whatever I can get, and I'll make myself accountable for it.
Inspector Hayes seemed like he's trying, and I think he's gonna.
Yes, sir. I see all the material that he's brought over to the structure, and like I say, he's done the front porch over.
Right.
It's just that it needs some more work, and whatever time that you see fit to give him to come back,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
60 days? 90 days? Yeah. Let's bring it back 90 days and see where we're at 90 days. And I got a feeling he's going to have.
Yeah, definitely sure.
Yes, sir. Very good.
Yes, sir.
Let's bring it back May 15th. Thank you, Inspector Hayes. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you. Yes, sir. All right, we got any more people coming in? Oh, wow. Okay. So and this is the list of all the people that didn't. Okay, let's go to number 2 on the docket, 240-911-1 PSG, 9279 Savannah Drive. This is with Inspector Winslow. Once again, number 2 on the docket, 240-911-1 PSG, 9279 Savannah Drive. Let the record reflect that the only person that stepped forward is Inspector Graham.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Standing in for Inspector Winslow.
Standing in for Inspector Winslow. He's no longer with us.
Oh, okay.
This is violation number 240-911-11 PSG. The address is 9279 Savannah Drive. Looking at his photos from the original write-up and the photos that were taken yesterday, I am going to say the violation has been abated.
Oh, nice, Inspector Graham.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
let's show that matter abated.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Inspector Graham. All right, let's move to number 4 on the docket. Is it with Inspector DeBro? This is 2410123 PSG, 8003 Line Avenue. Once again, number 4 on the docket, 2410123 PSG, 8003 Line Avenue. Let the record reflect that the only person that stepped forward is Inspector DeBro.
Good morning.
Good morning again, Inspector DeBro.
Jeffrey DeBro, violation number is 24101-235 PSG. I'm abate this one here.
Oh, perfect.
They cleaned it up with the had a lot of wash machines and the weed and vine on the gates, and they cleaned it up.
Nice. Let's show this property abated. Thank you, Inspector DeBro. All right, let's move to number 5 on the docket. This is with Inspector Ray. Number 5 on the docket, 240-3195 PSD, 2714 Logan Street. Once again, number 5 on the docket, 240-3195 PSD, 2714 Logan Street. Let the record reflect that only Inspector Ray has stepped forward. What's going on here, Inspector Ray?
Okay, Inspector Ray for 240-3195 PSD. Repairs have started on the structure to clear the violation. Exterior walls, they have holes and breaks. The rear egress needs stairs and landing. The foundation system, which is the bricks, is in disrepair.
Have they had any, I'm seeing the last court date, the owner was here. Not sure why
Yes.
he's not here today. Has there been any progress since the last court date, Inspector Ray?
No, other than look like they painted. That's about it.
Have you had any contact with the owners outside of court, Inspector Ray?
No, sir.
Is it done? Why aren't they here? Yeah, and they were provided notice in open court. But you said some progress hasn't been made, Inspector Ray, so they're doing something.
Yes, sir. Because they redone
Yes,
the
sir.
front porch was repaired.
Yes,
and
sir.
on the left side, they also had holes and breaks, and they had done that. But the trimming, the windows still need trimming on the left and right side.
Yes, sir. So let's bring this back. What's Sarah's date? Oh, you think you're gonna be mad at me? You think? Okay, let's bring it back on March 13th, Inspector Ray. And
Yes, sir.
Let's see where they're at on March 13th. That's good. Thank you, Inspector Ray.
Thank you.
All right, let's move to number 8 on the docket. This is with Inspector Hayes. PSD 180014, 2418 Portland Avenue. Once again, number 8 on the docket, PSD 180014, 2418 Portland Avenue. Let the record reflect that only Inspector Hayes has stepped forward. What's
Your
going
Honor,
on
this
there?
is Inspector Lisa Hayes for case number PSD 180014. It's going to be 2418 Portland Avenue. We've been back and forth in this court quite a bit for this case. The owner sent an email saying that he would not be here today, and I just told him in an email back to him that I would, let the court know. But when I go out and look at this case, it did not originally start off as mine, but just following up on it since I've had it, I don't see anything going on with it. I don't know what we can do in ordering a demo, even if we want to, or if we want to start issuing fines, because there's nothing, I don't see anything going on with this property. I don't know if fines would help motivate or to move them along, or
Did he say why he would not be in court today, Inspector Hayes?
from what I understand, I think he was out of town. And I don't know if it, Ms. Washington, did I send that email? Okay, thank you. I know you're always on point, Ms. Washington. Thank you so kindly.
Let me review. If he was out of town because he went to Super Bowl weekend, well, then that's not going to be a good reason for not being here. Inspector Hayes, I'm reading the email. He notes that he's done some painting on the property. Is that?
I mean, he's done, a few things. And I mean, honestly and truly, I don't want to tear the structure down.
Yes, ma'am.
But I just want him to do some more things to it. And in the past, we've saved him money by not fining him, by not doing things, because we wanted him to place those funds into what he was doing with the structure. Mm-hmm. But it's a slow process he's doing with it. I see improvement, but I don't see improvement, if you understand what I mean. It seemed like a lot more could have been done by now.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm going to read this to the record. He says, this is the second paragraph of the, in fact, I'll just read the whole thing to the record. Inspector Hayes, I'm writing concerning continued progression of work on my property at 2416 Portland Avenue. As you are aware, the last few months have been particularly uncertain for the general contractor. November and December presented the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays. The weather this January has also been quite brutal. When it was not raining, it was unusually cold. Since most of the work involved with my property was on the outside, securing consistent contracting labor was not to be. Having noted that, I was able to get some of the aesthetics done with some painting. It is also, I think he mean here, contracted to paint in the rain and the cold. I still have only some minor things to get done before I'm off the city's quote-unquote naughty list. This note is to provide continued communication regarding my progress and efforts. With all due respect, I am requesting to be excused from the upcoming proceedings, as it will, at worst, be a break in my work contracts here in Denver. I am actively working here because they don't care about the cold and snow. No disrespect, but to drop everything here to appear there and will be very costly to me, and this note may serve to update the court on my progress. Thank you for your consideration, Jordan Turner. And he provides his email and phone number. I understand he couldn't be here today, but obviously we have a problem we need to take care of, and it's very important for him to be in court. And like you said, Inspector Hayes, this case has been dragging on for a while now. He's made some progression. He sent that, January 24th, 2025. Let's give him 30 days. If he's not in court, then we're gonna, maybe we can note for a hearing officer Giglio that we should proceed with or without him if he's not in court. And unless he's in the hospital or something like that, him saying he couldn't be here, that's not gonna be sufficient enough.
Yes, sir.
Even though he's been making progress, it's not good enough yet at this time, and he has to be in court. And if you don't want to be in court and get it taken care of, it's
Yes,
kinda,
sir.
I agree with you, Inspector Hayes. This case is going to come to an end point, and an email didn't really persuade me to to have any,
Yes,
kind
sir.
of a snarky, kind of disrespecting to the job that you guys do, and I don't appreciate that. So let's give him 30 days. And,
It was written up in 19, so it's been going on, and I didn't
Been
know.
dragging.
We haven't fined him, I don't think.
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't know what you want to do about it.
I think we give him 30 days, and
Okay.
I think beyond just the fine, we should have some sort of finality one way or another.
Yes, sir.
At this point, let's bring it back March 13th.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. All Let's move to number 9 and 10 on the docket. On number 9, 240-7357 PSD, 2621 Westover Road, Inspector Wheatley. And number 10, 240-7832 PSG, 2621 Westover Road, the same address, Inspector Wheatley. And let the record reflect that only Inspector Wheatley has stepped forward.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is case number 240-735-57 PSD and 240-7832 PSG. Address 2621 Westover Road. This is a continuance from 10/10/24 and 11/14/24. As you can see from the property, he did somewhat cleaned up the property, and they did tear down the storage house that's on to the left side of the property, but there's still a small storage in the back of the secondary structure that needs to be torn down. It looks like a tree had fell on it, and it's been overgrown and to the point where nobody didn't notice it till, it's wintertime it started dying out. The secondary structure has a hole in the roof, which also was never noticed because he had a tarp over it, and the overgrowth that was growing during the summer had covered it over. But when we had that storm, it blew the tarp off. So all that rain went inside of the property and everything. So I'm pretty sure it's probably some kind of water damage in there. If you can see from the garage area, the garage lift doors leaning off of the property. And for the cleanup, he still has numerous car parts. There's a scaffolding on the other side of the secondary. There's right there. And there's still trash and debris on the side of the road where I guess he tore down the storage building and it's kind of just scattered everywhere and stuff that they didn't pick it up. And then we still have the lumber that's behind the secondary structure also. And some of the limbs and stuff that was buried back there with the storage building. So, he came last time. We spoke to him and everything else. I haven't heard from him since. We gave him plenty of time to get the property up to par from what he started, and nothing was done. And I haven't seen him on the property, and I haven't heard from him. So the only thing they so far did, like I said, was to tore down the building and boarded up the secondary structure. Other than that, that's all.
So he's not made any progression since the last court date, Inspector Wheatley?
No, sir.
And you've had no contact with him since the
No,
last
sir.
court date? This is one of my cases too. He was here in, here. I had him for September, October, November, Wednesday, should work me down. Defendant will not come back properly. No. Let's check notice. I think. So you think notice is sufficient to move forward? In open court to be here. You're right. Right, yeah. Yeah. This is number 9 and number 10. Yeah. So I think I'll order a judgment. You can file a bill, yeah. Yeah. Are you of the opinion at this time, Inspector Wheatley, that the property is a hazard?
Well, with the building being boarded up, nobody can get inside of it, but eventually in time from that gap in the roof, it's going inside is going to pretty much fall in eventually, and it's going to start showing on the outside.
Based on that, are you asking the court to issue a judgment ordering the property be demolished at this time?
At this time, I say issue a judgment.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's offer, file, and introduce all the photos into the record. Let's note the testimony of Inspector Wheatley. Let's note that the owner was here at the last court date. He was provided notice in open court to be here for today, and we sounded the docket multiple times. He did not come forward. Let's also note we have a return green card as well, further confirming that the owner was put on notice, but as I stated, he was provided notice in open court. So we are going to issue a judgment for us to proceed with demolition of the property, Inspector Wheatley. And also note that since the last court date, he's not done anything, no progression. He's not been in contact with Inspector Wheatley, and he's not shown up in court today to asking for more time, indicating that at this time he does not intend to do anything else on the property. So we can't work with it. We want to work with you, but you got to work with us.
I mean, it's not much to clean up. I was hoping he was gonna get it all cleaned up and everything, but it didn't happen.
Yeah. Let's issue a judgment to that effect. Thank you, Inspector Wheatley.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, a judgment on both violations, Inspector Wheatley, the demolition and the cleanup, both.
All right.
Thank you, Inspector Wheatley.
Thank you.
All right, let's move to number 14 and 15 on the docket. This is with Inspector White. Number 14, 220-3109 PSD, 6244 South Lakeshore Drive. Number 15 on the docket, 220-3243 PSG, the same address, 6244 South Lakeshore Drive. Let the record reflect that the only person that stepped forward is Inspector White. Good morning, Inspector White.
Good morning. I do.
What's going on here, Inspector White?
Inspector White for case number 2203243 PSG, care premise. The address is 6244 South Lakeshore Drive. The care premise is still going on. They are cleaning up. What you see right there is the demolition of the other part of this address, the demolition part. They demolished the storage building, so that's done. But they still left debris. There's debris all over the property, but they are cleaning it, so they are working on the property. So the demolition is done, and they are working on cleaning up the violation of the care premise.
So as to the demolition, Inspector White, are you saying that we should show that abated at this time?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So let's do that. That's docket 220-3109 PSD. Let's show that abated. And as to the care premises, Inspector White, you're saying we should keep that open.
Yes.
Making progress. We should give more time.
Yes.
How much more time do you think we should give, Inspector White?
Well, the property is low-lying,
Mm-hmm.
and it holds water.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was back there yesterday, it's like walking through a swamp.
Mm.
So it's going to be a minute for a drought. So, and since this has been ongoing, I believe it's going to probably take another 30, 60 days or more. But I think it's just it's going to be a lengthy work in progress
Yes,
because
ma'am.
it's so much property and it goes all the way back to the lake.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's quite a bit. And then he has machinery back there that needs to be removed, and
Yes, ma'am.
that van, and a whole lot of stuff, a lot of cutting. Last season he had a tree fall down, so he done cut a lot of that up back there, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot.
Yes, ma'am. We could bring it back 90 days. Unless
Okay,
you think
that'll
that's
be
too far
fine.
out. Now we bring it back 90 days.
Okay.
90 days? Let's
Mm-hmm.
do that. Let's bring it back May 15th. Thank you, Inspector White. Let's keep you there, Inspector White. Let's go to number 16 on the docket. 2410122 PSG, 3809 Ninoc.
Ninoc.
How do you say it?
Ninoc.
Ninoc?
Ninoc.
Ninoc, okay. That's a word, Ninoc.
Yeah, that's a word.
Ninoc. Let the record reflect that nobody has come forward for 3809 Ninoc Street except Inspector White. What's going on here, Inspector White?
Okay, number 2410122 PSG, care premise, 3809 Ninoc. This house, someone bought it, I guess a while back, and they had been working on restoring the house, But at the same time, they have the backyard, and the neighbors are complaining about the backyard is just a mess. And they had a lot of bags and things up in the front that they did remove, but they're not keeping the property up. But the backyard is really bad, and it's been like that for a while now. You got trees down, building equipment in the back. The fence line is way overgrown. You have a fence down as well, and it's look bad.
Have you had any communication with the owners?
No, I think they're out of town. And one while we had a neighbor that was trying to stay in there. He kicked the door in and went in there. The neighbor did call the police on him, but I think they took him away. But in the meantime, the property is, someone is working on it periodically.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went over there yesterday, the door was open and it looked like, and they had been painting in there,
Mm-hmm.
but they left the door open.
Mm-hmm. Are
So-
you recommending us to give more time, Inspector White, or are you
No.
saying we should just order?
I think we should
Let's
order a
clean it up.
cleanup on it because it's been going on for a while now.
Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing that, let's see, so the appeal form signed by the owner, the address was 3809 Neenock Street, Shreveport, Louisiana 71109.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a green card return showing that it was delivered on December 14th, 2024. So the owner was provided notice, and based on the testimony of Inspector White, we're going to issue a judgment ordering us to clean it up. And let's note the photos offer file introduce those into the record. Let's note the testimony of Inspector White, and let's provide the green card into the record. And let's note that we sounded the docket multiple times, and the owner did not come forward. Thank you, Inspector White.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yes, ma'am. All right, let's move to number 17 on the docket. This is with Inspector Davis. This is 17-240-2202 PSG 3535 Hardy Street. Once again, 17 on the docket, 240-2202 PSG 3535 Hardy Street. Let the record reflect that only Inspector Davis has stepped forward.
I am Inspector Davis over 240-2202 PSG 3535 Hardy. This property been abated.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Inspector Davis. Let's show this property abated. Wonderful. All right, let's move to, didn't we do that? Didn't we do 23 Ziegler Street? We did, okay. Okay, let's move to 26 on the docket. This is with Inspector Blunt. I think Inspector Hayes is standing in for Inspector Blunt. Number 26 on the docket, 240-9453 PSD 1114 Andrew Street. Once again, 9453 PSD 1114 Andrew Street. Let the record reflect that only Inspector Hayes has stepped forward for this case.
I'm Inspector Hayes for case number 2409453 PSD 1114 Andrew Avenue. Upon inspection of this property, I saw no changes from the previous photos from the inspector. The structure has overgrowth to it, as you can see. There's been no remodel changes, no rehab, and I'm recommending that we go forward with the demolition on it.
Are you of the opinion, Inspector Hayes, that this property is a hazard at this time?
Your Honor, honestly, I don't see it as a hazard. I just see it as
An eyesore?
an eyesore and needs to be demolished.
Have we had any contact with the owner outside of court, Inspector Hayes?
I have not, Your Honor. I don't know if Inspector Blunt had, but I have not since she's been out, and nobody tried to contact me once they received, I guess, their summons for appeals court today.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna do that then. Nope, I'm glad you. Yeah, let's give her some more time, Inspector Hayes. I'm seeing this is the first time I think we had her in court. They did pull the permit? Okay, and it seems like they're trying to get it taken care of as well, Inspector Hayes.
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
It's good. So let's give her some more time. Let's give her 60 days.
60 days, is that coming back on that March, on your day?
That's the April 15th date.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
On
ma'am.
March 13th?
Yeah, let's give her 60 days because that March date is loaded now.
Okay.
Let's do April 15th, and that's my date. Yes, let's do that.
Okay,
April 15th,
maybe.
yeah.
Inspector Blunt. Hopefully she'll be back.
I don't never want to. She gonna be all the time. I'm not gonna be the one to. Sarah gonna have to. I'm not gonna. I don't know. Man, vegetarian. See, I'm not even. Nope. Good. Praise God. All right. Is that anything? Okay, let's move to number 27 on the docket. 2410496 PSD, 1822 Murphy Street. Once again, 2410496 PSD, 1822 Murphy Street.
Yes,
Let the
sir.
record reflect that only Inspector Hayes has stepped forward for this property.
I'm Inspector Lisa Hayes for case number 2410496 PSD 1822 Murphy Street. Upon inspection of this property, from the previous inspector's pictures, I saw no changes. Actually, the house seems to be leaning a little bit more.
Yeah.
It actually seems like it is a hazard to the community. It's shifting, and it sits on that hill on Murphy Street. And I am recommending that we go ahead with demolition since nobody has come forward.
And you are of the opinion that the property is a hazard, Inspector Hayes?
I am, Your Honor. It's leaning really bad.
Yeah, I see it. I agree the property's bad off right now, Inspector Hayes. However, this is the first day that they're supposed to be in court. Obviously, they're not here.
And did they assign their, did they get delivered their notice to be here?
They did. Green card. Yeah, the green card came back unclaimed. I'm with you, Inspector Hayes, but to err on the side of caution.
Yes, sir.
Let's give them one more notice, and let's see if we can provide proper notice so we'll be able to move forward. And obviously, they're going to have to make. I don't know how they're going to fix was leaning over like that. That's going to be a hard one to take care of. Let's bring it back on my date, Inspector Hayes.
Yes, sir.
Bring them back April 15th, and we're going to make sure we provide proper notice.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you so kind.
Thank you, Inspector Hayes. I think that's it. I think we've cleared out the docket. I was going to give a closing speech, but everybody left.
Yes, sir.
Shame on you guys. Come on. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
You guys got out of here. Very good.